Today I'm going to be showing you a demo of Lawson Business Intelligence. I'm going to show you a dashboard created for our Human Resources role. What you're seeing here is the login screen. And this login screen is accessed using Microsoft Internet Explorer, and it's very similar to the Lawson portal. You'll need a username and password to get in. So I'm going to go ahead and log in here, and then it's going to take us directly to our dashboard. Now, this dashboard is the dashboard that we're going to be working with today, but you can see up at the top I have many tabs. These are all the dashboards that I have access to. So you can create within LBI as many dashboards as needed, and access can be granted on a dashboard-by-dashboard basis. So within the dashboard, we're going to have these boxes which we call modules, and the modules are going to contain our content. So what we have here is some links that I've created that are linked to many of the different types of content that you can have on Lawson Business Intelligence. So we have some crystal reports, an Excelsius dashboard, some smart notifications. I've linked in some of the Lawson forms, and also I've linked some external websites, and then also a little video I'm going to show you how you can link in some content that might be able to train your users on how to use LBI more extensively. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to point out to you here is a large module to the right-hand side, which is called the viewer. Now, this particular module doesn't contain any content right now, but what it is the viewer module for some of the reports that we have on our dashboard. The best reports that you can put into the viewer module are reports where all the content is delivered within one page or snapshot, a bar chart, a pie chart, something where the user is going to get all of the information that they need within that one snapshot. So for an example of this, I've got this active employee count by job group. So I just click on that link, and then the report is delivered within this viewer. And as you can see, this is just a cross tab of head count for this particular entity, and it's broken down by job grouping and then by work status. Another report here in our FTEs and headcount module is an FTEs actual versus budget report. Now, this report is charted, but because it has more than one page and it's a little bit larger, it's best viewed in its own window. So I've set this link up to open up a new Internet Explorer window, and you will see the report. One of the things I like about this is that I can expand this window, and then I can see the entire report all in the screen. And as you can see here, this report's got some footnotes at the bottom that have some information that if I were viewing it in the viewer and didn't see those, I might interpret the data incorrectly. Also, in this window, I can scroll through each of the pages. And then I also have the option of exporting the report and printing the report. So I'm going to show you exporting the report. Here are your options that you have when you export. You can actually export the RTP file. You can export the report to a PDF, to Excel, Word, and to a text document. You also have within reporting services the ability to restrict any of these options from the end user. So if you don't want them to export to Excel to manipulate the data, we could take this off where they would only be able to export it to Adobe Acrobat or Microsoft Word. So I'm going to go ahead and select Adobe here so you can see what it looks like. And real quickly, it just pops up a Save As dialog box here, and I'm going to select Open so that I can see it. And then there's my Adobe format. Real quick, real easy, and one of the best things about this is that now I have the option where I can print this or I can save it. I can open up my email and send it as an attachment to a coworker. That way, if I'm viewing some data that I want to share with somebody, it's real quick for me to get it out to them, and then we're both looking at the same version of the report, and they don't have to worry about running the report and making sure that they have the same data that I have. I'm going to go ahead and close out of here. So now you've seen a report in the reviewer, a report in a new window, and also how to export a report. I'm going to show you here in this turnover module another report, and this is a turnover rate by department report. Now this report is a larger report, and the data is not in one snapshot, but I wanted to show you it in the viewer so that I can show you how you can have a report in the viewer and then another version of the report open in a window, and you can compare the two. So this here is a turnover report, and I want to just take some time here to talk a little bit about these reports. These reports were created off of a data warehouse. And the reason that we decided to create a data warehouse for these particular reports is for a couple of reasons. One, if we had created the reports off of the Lawson data, then you run the risk of somebody running the report at noon and another person running the report at 2, and then actually getting two different types of data because there are transactions that have been entered into Lawson between noon and 2 p.m. So you could actually have two managers of a department run the same report in relatively the same time period and get two different results, which could then, create confusion, and it calls the Lawson database integrity into question. So it's better to have this data warehouse created so that we know that if a person runs a report, that they're going to get the same results as somebody who runs the report 2 or 3 hours later. And with the data mart, it's completely up to you how often you want it to be refreshed. It can be refreshed daily, it could be refreshed weekly, it could be refreshed every pay period. So that frequency is completely left up to the client. But it does give us a place where we can have a data source that we know is static at least for a minimum of 24 hours. And then also, the other advantage of the data mart is that it allows us to report on slightly more complex metrics very easily in Crystal Report. If we were to pull the Lawson tables into Crystal to create a turnover rate or vacancy rate report, we would have to use very complex formulas in Crystal to get the actual metrics, and then therefore it makes charting these and drill down much more difficult. With the data warehouse that we've created, we've actually done enough manipulation, or not manipulation, but transformation of the data to make it so that we can pull it directly into Crystal and report off of it very easily. It allows us to chart it. It allows us to have drill down within the report so that we can actually drill back to the actual data. Now this report here, you can see it's a summary type report where you have a department, the turnover rate, the number of terms, the number of employees, and then the number of employees in the entity. But we actually, because of the data warehouse tables, when we get to a department that actually has turnover, we are able to list the actual employee information for each of the terminations because we've created this data warehouse. We most likely would not be able to recreate this report by just pulling the Lawson tables in. The next thing I'm going to show you in the viewer is a couple of smart notifications. So the first one is upcoming birthdays. And this smart notification is linked back to the Lawson system, and it's basically going to tell you your birthday's coming up. Now these smart notifications were run in December. I haven't updated them. I just wanted to use them as kind of like to show you real quickly, so I didn't run the update on them. But so this would be your December birthday. So basically saying in 2 days, it's going to be Kathy's birthday. Anything less than 10 days, we've flagged to stoplight in red. Between 10 and 15 days is yellow, and 15 and greater is green. And then we also have a link here back to HR 11, and you can click on the employee name, and it'll send them an email, or you can click on HR 11, and it'll bring up the HR 11 screen. We also have another smart notification that's very similar, and this is upcoming anniversary. This smart notification as well was ran in December, so you can see here 12 days until Roberto's anniversary. And so it has a link to his name, and it'll bring up an email, or you can link to the HR 11. Now, any of this can be customized. These are just two examples, but we can link back to any other Lawson screen. The smart notifications can have any other content. This is just real quick to show you a couple options of some smart notifications that we've created. Next, I'm going to go down to the Tools module here, and I'm going to show you some Lawson forms. So in here I just have HR 11 and PA 52, and I just selected these because these are pretty common screens that are used in a human resources role. If you click on that, it takes you to HR 11, and then if you click on PA 52, it'll take you to PA 52. One of the things is that Lawson security will be applied, so if you're in a dashboard, you could possibly be in a dashboard that has links to a Lawson form that you don't have access to. You would click on the link, and it would still give you the same security violation notification as if you were in Lawson and you were doing a form transfer to a form that you didn't have access to. So there is no way for users to use LBI as a way to navigate to areas of Lawson that they wouldn't normally. All security within the Lawson application is still applied. So here under Send Message, we have a unique little tool here. It's utilizing the Smart Notifications application within LBI, but it's going to allow us to, as a user of this tool, we can actually send notes to other dashboards. So if I were an HR director and I wanted to create a couple of notes to send out to my executives and my managers, I could just come in here, I clicked new row twice, so I've got two rows, and I'm going to put HR director, and the recipient I'm going to put executive, and then the note is going to say, please process all promotions, because we know executives are handing out promotions, by Friday. And I'm going to put the date added as today's date. And then I want this to be active, so I'm going to put true here. And then I'm going to put executive in the dashboard because I want this to be shown on the executive dashboard. And then I'm going to come down in the next row and basically do exactly the same thing, but I want to send this note to my managers. And so I'm going to say, please process all terminations by Friday. And then I'm going to put in today's date and select true for active, and then I want that to post on the manager dashboard. So I'm going to go ahead and click save. So those two notes are saved. I can close out of this window, and then I want to refresh the dashboard. So in order to refresh the dashboard, I'm going to go to the LBI menu, which is this little menu here on the very top right-hand corner of the screen. I'm going to click it, and I'm going to click refresh. Now that's going to refresh all of the dashboards that I have access to, and also the dashboard that I'm currently in. So you can see the viewer has gone back to a blank status, and then I'm going to go ahead here and click on Executive Dashboard. Now when I go down to Notes, I see here the HR Director said please process all promotions by Friday, and the date added. And then if I click on the Manager's Dashboard and go to Internal Notes, I'll see the note that I created for the managers. Please process all terminations by Friday, and the date added. So here you can see how we can with using the Smart Notifications tool, a way for you as an HR director or anyone in a role within LBI to send messages to other dashboards. Now, you can add links to any external website, and this one's going to pull up mylawson.com. So you can have a link to Google, you can have a link to mylawson.com. So that does it for our demo today. I thank you for your attention, and if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at any time.